This is Backstory, the story behind the story from the Quiet Achiever book. So, in the Difficult Conversations chapter, there was a framework about how to give feedback around situation, behavior, impact, consequence, and change I'd like to see. This framework was actually taught to me years ago by a leadership trainer called Paul Mills, who's probably one of the best leadership consultants I've ever worked with. And he was the person that shared this framework with us. Now, if some of you would have Googled and looked it up, you probably are familiar with the SBI framework that goes through the situation, the behavior, and impact. What I found unique about this was it also included the consequence, the long-term impact of what's going to happen if you carry on behaving this way. It also gives you a way to take ownership over what's the behavior that you would prefer to see. Doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but at least if you give them a way to do it, it's better than letting them make up their own minds about how they want to behave. Now, before you go and have that difficult conversation, you've already written it down, you've already practiced it, you've already figured out the right words that you want to say. Just know that going into the conversation, you're going to be emotionally heightened because it is a difficult conversation. But you have to know that as you have more difficult conversations, you're going to know that emotion is going to come. Doesn't mean that it's going to get easier, but the fact that you know it's going to come means it's not going to be a surprise. And if you're not surprised and if you're well practiced, you're going to be in a much better place to have a difficult conversation than if you had no preparation and no framework. That's all for this episode. Bye for now.